Hello and welcome to Post-Burnout.com interviews. Post-Burnout.com is a culture website dedicated to venerating burnt-out artists the world over. My name is Aaron Kavanagh and I'm the website's founder and editor-in-chief. This is our website's podcast where we publish the full interviews from our site's articles and sometimes release exclusive episodes. In this edition of Post-Burnout.com interviews, Thomas Fez Ferris, Blaine Crooks, Sean Hogi Hogan and Luke Harrison of the Belfast ambient bittersweet rock band Midnight Housework discuss forming the band during the COVID-19 pandemic, crafting their unique sound that defies genres, their latest single Red Paper Cups, working with producer Jonny Woods of Winona Bleach fame on their music, the Belfast music scene, their music videos, video games, when Fez starred in Game of Thrones, and more. I want to apologise because this interview was actually conducted at the end of July as their single had just come out, and towards the end they announced some gigs they have coming up. One of them was in August, which unfortunately I missed. However, the band will support Madre at the Union Bar Belfast on September 26th. They'll also support The Drive at the Deer's Head Belfast on October 23rd. Tickets for both of those shows are available in the description of this episode. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Oh, wait. Hello.
Hey Thomas, how's it going?
I'm fantastic. Good
That's good to hear.
to see you. Good to see you. Listen,
Good to
so
see you too.
the
I think
other
that's the most enthusiastic intro I've ever had. Go on.
so the other lads are, I think they're all going to join at different, I don't know if they're going to join at different points.
Yep.
Or if they're only going to join now. I was the one emailing you. So we'll see about I've sent them the link, so they might come in. I'll give them another um it's feckin' started. That should get their attention.
No, actually, it's just perfect. It's literally only starting now. I think actually you and I are a little early, and here's Sean now,
Oh, is he?
and here's Blaine.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
So you're not alone.
Excellent. There he is.
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Started muted and blinded there. Don't know what happened.
Perfect. So it's only Luke who hasn't joined yet. So I guess he's the late one.
Look, I'm not sure. I really don't know. Look, Luke's our drummer, and he's in the middle of the wedding at the minute, so
That's fine.
he's
He doesn't need to abandon his marriage for this.
no, he's not getting. Sorry,
He's in a wedding band.
No,
he's
just
in a
joking.
wedding band. Sorry, should I say? So he's actually probably like half performing as well. So I'll let him
here
know
he is now.
here.
Actually, it'd be interesting if he's at the kit.
Really?
It'd be interesting if he's at the kit.
He's just sitting there like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hello, Luke Harrison from the Garrison.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm getting used to this. Sorry, I'm using this on my phone. I'm Sean, by the way. I'm not Luke. Is that who you thought it was?
No, Luke is here too. He just hasn't
Is Luke
turned on
here?
his
Wow.
mic yet.
Hello.
Oh,
There we go. How's it going, Luke?
Hello.
Hello.
I heard you're getting married. How's it going?
No, I'm playing at a wedding here. Not yet.
Oh, cool. When's the stage time?
Oh, hold on, I'll turn you up here. What was that? Sorry.
When's the stage time?
Um,
I guess right now. Well, that was Luke. Thanks
Right
for your
now.
contribution. All right. Does anyone want to shit talk Luke real quick? No, I'm joking. Oh, here he is now. He's coming back.
Okay, awesome. Did you press the wrong button?
That was a quick gig.
quick.
set.
Hold on, where am I? We all know Luke's favorite thing is technology.
Yeah.
He's a serial voice noter as well.
So he plays an analog kit, right? He doesn't play like digital kits.
Oh, God, no.
No. That's all he does.
He's going.
Could you imagine?
Luke, are you there?
There's two of them now.
I don't know. He keeps like rejoining. I don't know what's going on.
Don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we
There we
go.
go. Hey, Luke.
There he is.
Wait, he has. Okay, so the good news is we now have two Lukes, but we have no Seans.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh.
Sean's not showing up. That's weird. I don't know what is going on. I've actually never seen this before. I think you guys are breaking Zoom somehow. I don't. It says
Are you
Sean is
using?
technically here. There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. Let's not jinx it any further.
do you have an actual mic, Fizz?
I do have an actual mic, yeah.
Oh, I'm just using my bloody AirPods.
Okay.
I'm like a low rent scrub.
I
So,
mean, I'm at home, so. But
do you
yes.
actually do you use the earpods just for like backup vocals or anything like that? Just plug it into the PA.
That would be
That would
handy.
be. I would love to see that. You would not hear shit in a live gig setting. If that was possible, I don't know. Could you hook up Bluetooth to a PA system? I imagine so, because you have Bluetooth mics. So maybe.
I've definitely seen like sound engineers before have those like do everything on an iPad, so
Yeah. You should look into that. That'd be an interesting little gimmick.
I might, I
It's like,
might
okay,
have
you all have to be
to.
really quiet now to hear the set.
hmm
We're using our fucking AirPods here.
Yes, yes.
Right, let's get the show on the road a bit. So let's start with at the beginning of this band. I understand that like um everyone had been like in previous bands before. Had you kind of been playing together? Because I know sort of the Belfast music scene is quite small and condensed, and like a lot of the venues, for example, are kind of like centered around the city centre, which actually I think is quite common throughout, Ireland and the UK. I think everything just tends to be quite centered in city centres. So, was it kind of condensed, and you guys were just always playing together, or how did it come about? Okay, Tom's
No.
just shaking his
No.
head.
So
I'll let Fez take this one.
yeah. So band I guess started with myself like looking for people.
So this is
Um
Thomas speaking by now, just for the listeners.
yeah, Thomas or Fez.
Maybe we should just get
Um
everyone to introduce themselves. Sorry, that was my fault. I was meant to do
of
that, just
course.
so people know who's talking.
So I'm Thomas, I'm Fez. I'm more known as in the music scene, and I'm the guitar player of the band.
I'm Blaine. I play bass.
My mic on.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Look, I play drums.
Is that you, Luke? Is that you, Don?
That was me.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
great.
and I'm Sean or Hogi, and I'm singer and guitarist. I'm coming on and off mute because I'm outside, so I don't know if there's gonna be background noise. So I'll just come off mute when it's my turn to speak.
Sure, absolutely. So sorry, Fez, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. We're talking about how this band kind of started.
Yeah. So it started with me essentially looking for people. Since about I had an older band that essentially just completely separated, vanished, never to return, and I felt that I still had a lot of. I think a couple of the guys just in that group that all three of those guys except for me now are settled down and married and stuff like that there, and I'm the only one really who, except for the drummer actually, who like really would play out quite a bit if at all. And when that band kind of stopped, I was like, I don't want to stop. So and then of course that was 2019. Then the pandemic happened, so that put another stop to it, and so it was definitely like it was difficult at the start trying to find people because like over time I felt like even socially like a lot of people became a lot more introverted because of the pandemic and stuff like that there, and a lot more sent like looking inward and stuff like that there. So like um so sometimes I mean a lot of people when they're starting bands can like relate, but like when you're convincing someone to go along with like an idea or like your idea, I guess, that can be a little tough, especially if you don't know the people entirely. Um so I kind of I had already played with Blaine once before in like a like sort of a half session thing for another singer. And then but the first person I didn't want to. So what it was another thing. If anyone's like listening that does want to like start bands or whatever, just fucking message people. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah. You can say what
yeah,
you want.
just message people because I did the thing of expecting people to come to me a lot, and so at the time, whenever it came to like someone like Blaine, I never reached out because I was like, oh, I don't want to waste his time. Oh no,
Yeah.
and all this kind of thing. So so that's why I messaged Sean. No. Well, the idea in my head was my old band had played with Sean's band before, and I was like, holy shit, that singer's incredible.
Yeah.
And even the band that I was in at the time were like, holy shit, that Sean's band is just a better version of us.
Mhm.
And so at the time, I was like, I wasn't even sure if like Sean would really be interested because I was kind of convinced that like that band was still a thing, even though I hadn't seen them like do anything. So I thought, right, I've got two other random drummer and bass player that weren't Blaine and Luke. I'll just see what Sean's up to just to see. I was expecting no response, and then yeah, no, Sean was interested, and yeah, that was the first like sign of like this can work, this can work. Then I knew then the other two guys for whatever reason were like, oh, I don't like how you sound. So but of course Sean was like, no, wait, the spirit's there. So I reached out to Blaine, and Blaine was just like, absolutely. And Sean knew Luke as well, and Luke was like, I think I can do it. And
At that point, Luke was in a wedding band and he was playing harp bar every Saturday, and
yeah,
he's
and
a chef.
yeah, so look, if you want to say what your life is like.
I'll start off with
Give us a bio.
I actually got a message from Fez when I was on the loo. And,
Number one or number two?
oh, a bit of both.
Coming out both ends.
Number three.
Number three. Yeah, he just basically had asked if I wanted to join, and it's like, yeah, because I've been so used to cover bands for ages that sort of creative outlet wasn't there. So when I found out it was an original band, I thought, yep, we'll do that. So
Sorry, just before you continue, could I ask what would you do if while you're on the toilet, he goes, "Hey, would you be willing to play in this band?" You go, "Yeah, sure." And then he goes, "Oh, perfect. Are you ready to hop on a face call now and we just talk about it?"
Because I didn't know Luke at the time, so I didn't know he was just like,
Didn't know you used the
A
toilet.
Hallian.
a Hallian, and yeah.
Sorry,
But
Luke, go ahead.
I think that's the basis of it, and we've been going ever since, very very strong. Yeah.
Has some
The
music in this kind
demo
of
that
different? Sorry, go ahead.
oh sorry, I was gonna say the demo that Fed sent me, the one that really made me be like, yeah, there's something here. That's actually the bones of the song we've just put out, which is cool. Wasn't the first song we put out, it's the third one, but yeah, that's just a cool wee throw in there.
Yeah, as of this time, the recent single "Red Party Cups" was the first song I ever sent Sean to basically be like, this is what kind of I would envision a band being like.
How do you guys feel that this project kind of differs from everything else you've been a part of?
It's better organized.
That's the only distinguisher.
Yeah.
I think we're all quite passionate about it. I'd previously only really been doing session work around Belfast, and again, like, look, I didn't have that creative outlet. I was always just playing other people's stuff. So it's nice to have that outlet, and Luke, Fez, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Fez has done a very good job of just putting together just weird guys. I think we're all a wee bit weird.
Yeah. Well, of course you are. You're musicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Normal people don't get into music. They
we
don't
get
want to be on
on
a
so
stage.
well. But it's like after like the first practice session with the lads, I was like, oh yeah, we're just it's not just gonna be we're gonna be a band, we're gonna actually be friends.
Mhm.
Which is different from everything else I've done. It was always very much get in, play the songs, get out again.
Mhm.
Whereas this is very much get in, and then 45 minutes have passed because you're chatting.
Our producer
and then play.
yeah, I know. Our producer said to me whenever like our first single that we record, so the person who's recorded all of our singles is Jonny Woods. He plays in a band called Wine on a Bleach. They're
Yeah, I've spoken to
class.
Johnny. Yeah,
Ah, yeah. So he's recorded all of our stuff. But before that, he's actually recorded all of like my previous band stuff as well. And so, like, I would like to think he knows me well enough, and especially in that respect, like what I like guitar wise and all this kind of thing. And he he kind of said to me whenever we were uh whenever we were recording, or the day after we recorded our first single, he sent me a message going like, "Man, this seems like a real band that you're in right now. Like, you get on like an actual band,
yeah.
like in the user mates and stuff like that there." And I was like, peak, really really good, and that's harder to like really difficult to like get as well, because I suppose that is the difference part for me is like feel like we're all a wee bit more in the same wavelength of like in terms of like yeah, like whenever we write songs very fast, I feel like now like ours and a song will be done. So like and other tune bands I've been in before where that would take ages, or like there'd be kind of a lot more conflicts. Maybe that's yet to come in our band and stuff like that. Or maybe that's a healthy part of growing, is actually eventually having a wee bit more of a like creative conflict.
Oh, I'm going to
But
create some such conflicts like songwriting.
conflict. Conflict created. But yeah, so that's I guess the main thing. And it's just very 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 easy. It's a lot easier to write stuff, I guess. So
When it comes to when it came to, I guess, like pitching the band to the other members, one thing that I think is very interesting actually about Midnight Housework is that when you look at, like, the EPK, and when you look at like the press material that exists for the band, very seldomly does like music genre come up. It's more about sense of mood and atmosphere that you're trying to create. Was that something that was from the get-go? You didn't go like, okay, we're going to be like an indie band or a rock band or anything like that. You were just kind of like, this is kind of the environment or the atmosphere I want to create with this music.
uh
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we kind of wanted to nail ourselves down and kind of pen ourselves into one genre. We wanted to have a bit of leeway to experiment a bit, which I think we're kind of doing at the minute. Um, and then again, I think it's also we're we're all very new to this, so it might not have been something that immediately popped into our heads.
yeah. I'm gonna say something, and then I want Sean to come off mute. But like but it's like yeah, I think a lot of the I
Sean,
think
if you want to
sometimes
stay off mute, by the way, we can't hear any of the background noise. Is that
yeah,
picking
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Whenever I started playing, especially with Sean, I felt like whenever we came up with ideas, it came from like a lot of pure inspiration-y kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
it wasn't really like, there wasn't like a great like, oh, we have to sound like this, or like we're trying to sound like this song or this artist or something out there. Like it all just kind of came from um pure vibes.
Sure.
And improvisation, and again, that was another newer thing for me, because I was used to like, right, this is structured and all this kind of thing. So, but like a lot of it now is more like leaning into the just that's I guess why we describe it more as moods and stuff, because we don't really have like a band in mind, really. We just kind of make what sounds good to ourselves at the time, and yeah, just pure inspiration. So I'm sure Sean will have something interesting to say about that though, for sure. So you're welcome to come off mute now.
Um, I don't know. I think, well, yeah, I would say the worst thing a band can do is pigeonhole themselves, really, even if it's bands that you really like. I thought, I don't know. There's like a taboo on being pigeonholed, isn't there? It's not always a bad thing, but I don't know. You don't want to narrow the audience down to, oh, well, I don't like that band, so then I'm not going to like your band. But chances are they would have liked the band.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what the question was, to be honest, about our sound and our genre. It's
Yeah,
kind
it was
of,
about
yeah, it's
kind of
definitely,
creating atmosphere rather than genre, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. No, there's never like come into the practice room and be like, I've got a song that sounds like whatever. We're getting compared to you two a lot recently for some reason. I don't know why that is. Um, but yeah, we don't come in and decide we want to write a song that sounds like you two. We kind of vibe out, really.
Is
A
that a
big factor
comparison
as
that
well as
offends
to
you, or
like
are you happy with it?
I like it. I like it. If we're talking about like 90s, 80s U2, then
Sure.
absolutely. Yeah, some
I
great
know, like
albums.
I'm not a U2 fan. Like I quite typically can't stand them, but they are one of the biggest Irish acts in the world. So I mean, to compare to them, is not too much of a bad thing.
It all went to shit when they invaded our iPhones with that album. That wasn't
Oh
even a good
god.
album.
Songs of
But
Innocence, yeah.
we got compared recently specifically by Taylor Johnson, who played us on Across the Line, or it's not called Across the Line anymore, is it? BBC Introducing.
BBC introducing.
Yeah, he compared us to Actung Baby era U2, which I
Mm.
thought was cool. I went and re-listened to that album, and it was very. I was like, "Fuck, I forgot U2 made kind of weird stuff as well."
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you guys started like going, so actually I probably should have asked this earlier. So like when you're kind of like initiating this band and trying to get all the members kind of like locked down, what time were you kind of like thinking here? Because you mentioned that your previous band kind of ended just before the COVID-19 pandemic. So was this like during the pandemic or was it after it?
I think I started looking as soon as that band ended, kind of probably out of like instant like spitey kind of like I'm gonna start something right now kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I
It's like
think
Dave
it
Mustaine with Megadeth and
yeah
Metallica or something.
yeah. Well,
I
me and
was
him
so
are both
relieved to be
ginger like,
honest,
so
because like COVID like completely knocked me out of my field as well. I was like prior to that, I felt like I was always going to hold my previous bands together, get everybody involved or whatnot. And then when COVID hit and it all stopped, I was like, it's probably never going to happen again. But then Fez sent that demo, and it just, I don't know, it felt like hope. It felt like another chance. And here we are.
that's probably again like going back to like when you were saying about like what's different about this band is I think because um like even Luke kind of said about how like this is the time to do an original band again, and then Sean was like this is hope to try again, and even this was to me was like let's try this again. Was like I feel like we've been in the bands before that have sort of made mistakes, but that's been really healthy for like all of us to experience that before getting into this one. um
Yeah,
because now we're
100%.
all like really like way more, because even if we have like some kind of like argument bicker about something, I think that like it comes from the heart of like everyone just wants the band to be really really good, you know. So
Sure.
it's never like a thing of like, oh no, well I don't like this, or I don't, you know, it's never like a personal thing. It's always just, it always comes from the heart of just like really really caring about like the overall project and just
Yeah, it's
wanting
not
everything to
self-serving. It's about kind of fostering the band, I guess.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And then when you guys actually like the four of you kind of like come together and actually start like making the music.
the
Pretty,
So
pretty
first
quickly. It was just that one jam, wasn't it, Fez, with the other two guys? I don't
so
know. It was all good, but it didn't feel like it was clicking or something. I don't know.
yeah,
no.
they went on and tried to start a band without Luke and I, and we're still quite salty about it. So
Yeah, there was another original bassist and drummer if you count that first rehearsal. But
Seki,
no, it was pretty
sloppy
quickly after that.
seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Luke was like,
Yeah,
"Who's been in my stool?"
exactly.
oh,
Yeah, Luke comes in, the stool is warm. He's like, wait a minute.
And looks on the
You put your
toilet like,
balls in
what
my
stool
drum
are you
kit.
talking about?
Yeah, that was Luke's provision for being in the band. He was like, okay, but I want to sit on the toilet and other gigs.
I know.
just felt right.
I am now realizing we do make a lot of like poo jokes. It's not very mature.
No.
Well,
I am now
everyone
thinking, have
poops.
any drummers ever had a toilet as their drum seat at a gig?
Oh, Midnight Housework
A
can do it
toilet
first.
shaped seat,
Bye.
Yeah.
and then
Well,
actually shit in it during a gig. That would be pretty
Oh
mad.
see,
god,
that's
Oh,
where you
grog.
take it too far. If you're actually
I know.
using it, because it's
that's
probably
more
not going to be
jackass
connected
than
to any
Midnight
pipes.
Housework.
It'd be like those display toilets they have in like the shops. It'd be like
Yeah.
one of them, I guess.
Oh god.
Actually, you did remind me. I was in one of them like what do you call it, like one of them shops before, and someone actually did take a poo in one of them. I was like, you fucking filthy bastard. I'm not even joking, by the way. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. So thanks for that memory, Sean.
No problem. That came into my head as well. That's weird. I've thankfully never done
Oh,
that
you've had that
or
too?
encountered anyone doing it. I'm pretty sure I didn't think that would ever actually happen. I thought that only happened in comedy sketches. The
I
fact that
swear on
you
Dave,
my
have
life
witnessed
it
that
happened
is
when I was like
kind
a
of
Dave
kid.
England did it in Jackass.
yeah.
Well, now the conversation's been derailed to our bodily functions, I guess.
Anyway, I think I
Anyway,
started playing with them maybe March, April last year. Would that have been right?
so the first time I contacted Sean was like, I remember it really specifically because I contacted Sean and got us all in like a room in like an October in 2023, I want to
Mhm.
say. And then that was when Sean came out and was like, I don't think these guys are right. And I was kind of like, do you know what? I completely agree. And I
Shout out.
think I think they then shout out, and then they I think they eventually then said themselves, "Ah, yeah, this I don't think this is the right project for us." And then I think I think that kind of put a bit of another like downer for me at a point where I was like feeling like it's so close. And then I was like, "Ah, okay, Sean, if you don't want to do it, it's okay." And then but then Sean was like, "No, keep the dream alive." And
The thing was, I have experience of being in bands where it might not be the bassist or the drummer, whoever it may be. If just one person isn't clicking with it or it's not working, you're better just addressing that early on and
Yeah.
shaking hands and walking away because it's not worth it. It's too stressful. It needs to be there, and it just felt like that wasn't going to be there. You know.
No, absolutely, I get what you're saying. But actually, that can kind of, I don't know, like sometimes having those kind of like negative experiences with members can kind of shake you a little bit because, like, if you don't have the right level of determination, let's say, you can kind of be like, oh, well, shit, like I tried this and it failed. And, some people might throw it by the wayside and sort of go, like, that was an effort, but it's not, it's not to be. But was this something that you're always going to be like, no, we're always going to refine it until we got it right anyway?
in the music sense or
Just in general, I mean, like when you're trying to start a project, I think some people do get dissuaded when, as you and Sean were mentioned, when certain members aren't kind of like working out because as you were mentioning, Fez, like the kind of contact people and getting the ball rolling, is a lot more arduous than people think it is, especially like in a city kind of like small and there's only like so many people in the pool. It can kind of knock you a little bit. I don't know, did it knock you, or did you kind of just go like, no, we're on to the next thing?
um yeah, I think like I said whenever it was we were talking about like whenever those guys first kind of like said we're not doing it, I don't know, it's just I think because I was looking for maybe the good part of like about 3 years for people,
Hmm.
I kind of was like, oh, okay, kind of thing, I was like, all right,
It's
dreams
exactly
done.
why I wasn't actively looking for anyone anymore when the pandemic happened because probably similar to you, Fez, I felt like it was a lost cause before I even started trying, and that's kind of sad because now I look at us, we're back at it. But yeah, it can be, and again, the point was mentioned there, Northern Ireland, and particularly Belfast, it is a very small music scene, so it is very hard to find musicians. Sometimes they're probably already in a band or they're in too many bands. It's
Yeah.
just, but we got there, we made it.
Yeah, that was one thing I've noticed talking to a lot of acts from Belfast. The Northern Irish music scene is very incestuous.
Yeah, yeah, everyone's like three. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, look, even fucking like Harrison there, in a bazillion groups.
yeah. So,
Luke's
um,
literally at a gig of his other band.
Yeah.
And, I'm probably going to have to head because they're sound checking at the moment. So
well, look, I'll just ask you one quick question
yeah,
before you go. You mentioned that you play in wedding bands and cover bands before. Do you find Nick now, obviously, because like when you're in in that kind of situation, you're trying to emulate other people's strumming. Does the does the work you're doing there kind of influence your drumming in this project, or do you find that you just have much more free reign to kind of do what you want? Do you take influence from the music you're playing?
Um, well, I know with this band that I'm with tonight, it is cover stuff, but it's very like we can there's a bit of creative space there instead of like the likes of the hard bar was very sort of these are the songs we have to play them like this, whereas
Yeah.
this is can add our own sort of and stuff.
And there he goes.
Yeah.
That's how he ends calls with us anyway.
It wasn't a great question anyway. You can go if you need to go.
Dear. Right. I will see you.
We'll see you
Nice to meet you, man.
Sunday.
Take care of yourself.
See you on Sunday, bud.
Bye.
Break a leg, brother.
See you later.
So, Fez, one thing I want
Should
to
have said
ask.
break a drumstick.
Don't say that. Don't put that in his head, Godlum.
Fez, one thing I wanted to ask quick is I can't remember if it was you or Sean or Blaine who mentioned it, but one of you mentioned that actually it was Sean. Sean was mentioned that you had sent him a demo, and that's kind of what inspired him to want to be involved with the project you're doing. So I was wondering, initially did the music of Midnight Housework, was it all just like, bedroom demos, doing stuff yourself, or was it more professional than that, or like doing it early? Like, were you doing all the instrumentations yourself, or were you using digital instrumentations, or what's your skill set? I guess what I'm trying to ask.
A lot of it kind of a lot of it was just like I would send like a phone video of like an idea, maybe on kind of like show the pedals and stuff. I guess it's just really really basic stuff. Um, I guess one thing that I do an awful lot
You
is
can't help yourself.
is I use a lot of different tunings as well. So
Mm.
that's another I guess into the songwriting side of things. I definitely would use a lot of different tunings to create like a lot
It's
of different
it's
kind of
great
sounds.
for writing songs, but it's a pain when it comes to play them live.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, I was
guess
thinking you have to
like
have like the Sonic Youth thing where you have like 10 different guitars, all different tunings or something.
yeah,
And we have to structure
man.
the set so it's like this
So I
song
don't
is
have to
in
tune as
these
much.
songs
Yeah.
are in this one tune, and then
And then
we'll
if a
take a break at
fucking
Fez tunes.
if a string breaks, then you have to tune it again. It's like, oh no.
Oh man.
Has that
So
happened?
it actually hasn't happened at a gig yet, no.
Okay, we'll knock on wood.
Because I've even got like I am definitely a little obsessive with that kind of like guitar-y kind of stuff because I guess similar to Look, I've done my fair share of like cover work too.
Hmm.
And I find that are you a musician or yourself? Are you a guitar player?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I kind of like I don't play professionally, but I do play guitar and bass.
All right. So I don't when I'm in standard tuning, I play in a Foo Fighters cover band or a
Hmm.
tribute band, and I feel like whenever I'm in standard tuning, I either sound like Van Halen or Dave Grohl, right? It's it and
Sure.
and that kind of thing, right? Or like you two or something like that there. But I feel like with the different tunings, it forces my brain to not rely on shapes like pentatonic like shapes and more technical side so much.
Hmm.
um, where I can sort of almost like I was talking about the way Sean writes with like it's a lot of very inspiration based stuff on the moment. So I can kind of emulate that in a way with just like having a tuning that I'm not as familiar with. Um, so um, so yeah, that keeps me, I guess, away from mainly cover stuff myself as well, like or like sounding like other people in some ways. Not that I sound completely original or anything like that there, but it definitely it creates a different sound in my head that I like anyway. So
But just going back to the demos that you're sending, were you doing all the instrumentation yourself?
That was the question.
You thought
Um,
you almost had me there. You thought you got
yeah,
away with it. No, I'm
yeah.
joking.
I do a majority of the. Yeah, I would say yes. A lot of our ideas, I guess, would come from like I would bring in an idea, and then the other guys would just kind of like play around with it. So, I would do a lot of the, yeah, the early times it was just phone recordings I would send to Sean and Sean or the guys, and they would just be like, "Sounds sick," and then we would like try it in a practice, and that's how it would go.
And
Sean, as a guitar player yourself, how do you find out you and Fez's styles differ? Do you do alternative tuning much, or do you tend to try and stick to the standard?
I use alternative tunings more if I'm playing acoustic stuff. I've no, I've not had to do it at all with the Midnight Housework stuff. I think I get it's more because I'm then like Fez's idea will be the bones of it, and I'm latching onto that. So I don't really need to be in an alternative tuning. I'm going with that. He's got the bones of it there. The alternative tunings they're great for like nice jangly open chords and things like that.
Yeah.
But this band's weird because I've never ever 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 been a lead guitarist ever in my life, and it feels like not always, but with some of these songs, because Fez's stuff is the bones, I've almost sort of involuntarily become more lead guitar based. That's not to say I don't play chords on the songs too, but just little breaks in the music where it's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do some more movement here,
yeah,
spice things up.
it's definitely unique for me at least because I've never been in a band where I've only ever been in bands where it's like very rigid rhythm lead, whereas you guys tend to flip about quite a lot and create nice little moments, let's say, of guitar work and it's lovely
Mm-hmm.
just to sit back and listen to sometimes.
We do have a good formula going. I think Fez mentioned earlier on, we do write songs really quickly. A lot of that, and he's not here anymore, but a lot of that truly is down to Luke.
Yeah,
Um,
100%, 100%.
if your band doesn't have a good drummer, you're screwed. Basically,
Yeah.
you need a good drummer. But Luke's obviously creative and has a good intuition. So there's no like, sorry for swearing, but there's not really any fuckery when we're writing songs. It comes together quickly in a good way,
You can
which is
curse all you
good.
want, by the way. I don't care.
All happy days. Fuckery, fuckery, fuckery. Yeah,
Hey
no,
now.
it's just it's a good formula we have. Now it's not to say we always have time to write songs. We don't, because sometimes we're gigging and we're doing this, that, and the other. We're recording a lot at the minute. But when we do have the time to write the songs, it happens quickly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's good.
it'll usually be yourself, Sean, or Fez will bring a riff or an idea, and the rest of us will kind of just rip it to pieces. So our latest song that we've recorded started as a song that we started working on a couple months ago, and we were looking for Fez was looking for another section to add to it, and we just thought it was too good of a section to have just in one part of a song, so it turned into its own song.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of mess around quite a lot, and Luke just comes in and nails the vibe pretty much immediately.
Because even
Well,
the
sorry,
new
go
idea that we have, that's going to be a song that's going to release. I don't know. We're aiming to release it maybe like either the end of August or start of September. But it there is even this sense of like even going back to the question again of how this band's different is whenever whenever we had this idea going uh I lost a wee bit of my train of thought there, I won't lie. Whenever we had this idea originally, it was yes meant to be another part, like Blaine said, and it kind of took me a wee bit of letting go a bit to like accept that it could be like a full other tune. And I think that's another thing about this script that I've definitely become more comfortable with is the idea of just like if I have an idea or if someone brings in an idea, um, I have a basis of it, but the sound of the song doesn't really come from me. It comes from everyone else just like putting their own spin on it.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I think that would only come from just like letting go, I guess, and just letting like, because if it was just like the way I wrote it, I felt like it wouldn't sound like us. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it does take a bit of just letting go to, and just trusting the other guys to do what they need to do on it, and yeah, it always turns out spot on. So it's worked so far. So
Well, let's expand on that a bit using the new single Red Party Cup. As Sean mentioned, this was kind of the first demo you sent him. So how do you think that version differs from the one that's actually now out on release?
It's not as heavy.
Yeah.
The original one was like a half step down key wise. And the chord progression's more or less the same. Like that intro of the song up until the heavy bit, and more or less until like there's a sort of like math rocky kind of break type thing.
Mhm.
That was all just that was done by like that we had already got that sort of nailed. But I think it's just the only thing that's different is just where the guys are adding their own things on top of it, because for the most part I am just playing chords. Like the guitars where it's like really jangly at the start, that's me, quad tracked, but and the rest of it, yeah, it's kind of so yeah, I'd say from that math rocky bit, like that there's a quiet break and then there's a big guitar lead solo thing.
Which Fez didn't want to play.
Yeah, I was a
Fez was
little
very against
apprehensive.
playing it, and we were all like, "It sounds class," and there's anyone else in Belfast who could play it, so let's do it.
It's because like I think as well I come from an idea of there's a bit of like guitar, like I'm a wee bit scared of like 80s guitar Olympics, because I came from a background of loving Vi and Satriani and all these people and like doing all this wah nonsense guitar. And as the older I got, the more I just could not stand listening to some guy like wail on the pentatonic scale for like 10 minutes.
Sure.
And listen, there's a place for it. If I saw, um, any of all, rest in peace, Ozzy, any of Ozzy's guitar players go on for 10 minutes, peak. You do
Yeah.
what you need to do. Zach Wild, you go off and do what you need to do. But like, if I feel like a lot of other guitarists I see, sometimes it takes me I'm not convinced always.
Yeah, it seems kind of
Um,
like wankery or something.
yeah. That's
That's
actually the word I
that's
use.
the
Yeah.
word.
It's
That's
a good word,
exactly.
wankery.
That's the
And
very word I
I've
use.
also heard when people get strained from playing guitar, refer to it as wanker's cramp too. So,
We all
which
were
I love
talking
that
about
term
that
too,
recently
wanker's
too,
cramp.
funny enough. Um,
But that's exactly what Fez said. Whenever he was against playing those sections, he was like, "I just don't want to be a wanker." And we were
You
like,
seem a little
"Fez, it's so
reserved to say that,
good."
Fez. You can say wanker. It's okay.
I just don't want to be a wanker, okay? So, yeah,
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
No one's accusing you of that.
Yeah. Again, it was
No.
just the apprehension of like, um, I think, not even we were talking about Jonny Woods before.
Yeah.
He said to me like a while ago that like the most important parts of songs are always like choruses and like the main melody of it.
Yeah.
And I kind of, again, over time with a bit of growing pains, really believed him and like understood what he meant by that over time. So any kind of like solo-y bit, I guess, that isn't, I guess that's why like Sean, like I'm really, really, as much as I'm a lead guitarist, I'm very happy for like Sean to like do lead guitar, because I believe in like all of his like lead parts every single time.
It's kind
But
of inhuman the way Sean we'll start playing a song and Sean will just come in with these nice, like sparkly melodic lines, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
he's left because
He
he's
left. You
shy.
gave him too many compliments.
Yeah. I probably need to head for something. But yes, that's the
He could say goodbye. No, I'm joking.
I think his phone maybe died. I know his phone was on. He was on like mad percentage on his phone.
He's like,
His
my
phone
work here is
probably died.
done.
I got my compliment. I'm dipping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, it's brilliant. It's great.
And I actually want to ask about the collaboration with Jonny Woods. So obviously, working with the lads that are actually in the band, that's altering the way you guys are the songs as you would, I guess, had initially envisioned them. But then, what does Johnny's kind of production bring to that? I mean, what's the kind of working with him? What's that like? Does he make suggestions, or is he kind of more hands off and just kind of let you do what you want, and he's there to kind
do
of
a lot.
document it?
He doesn't do a whole ton, to be honest.
No, he just kind of sits there and pushes buttons.
What a lazy prick.
No,
No,
Johnny gives us a good steer and a good kick whenever we need it. For instance, when we're recording our single release in a month or two,
Yep.
I went in with what I thought was the bass line that I was going to play, and then Johnny was like, "I think you could do more." So then I ended up basically just writing a new bass line on the spot. under his guidance, he was giving me a good hand. So that was a good experience. It was very scary.
Where you're like, no, know your limits.
No. Johnny knows what he's talking about. I would trust his input.
Yeah. I'm just taking piss, by the way.
I know. But it was definitely a new experience of basically writing the line as I was starting playing with a song in the background.
And when it came to actually your first release, I'm going to let you guys go in a minute, but I just want to ask about, you started like I think it was last autumn. I don't know if it was October or November offhand, but
Sounds about right, yeah.
With your first song, who's going to keep me holding on? And you had to follow up If You Find Me in, I guess, around February, March. Sorry, I'm trying to remember offhand.
Yep.
It was Valentine's Day that came out.
So were these songs recorded in bulk and you're kind of releasing them periodically, or are they doing one at a time?
No, God no.
Yeah.
I think what's happening is we're kind of right now we're a band that's like changing, or not changing, but I think we're discovering our sound like really, really quickly. And we have a bunch of songs already. We've got 10, 11 songs, Blaine, is that right? I don't know.
I think it's about 13, actually.
13.
I think we've got about 13, 14. We've got
something like that there. But I think at the very, very beginning, we kind of wanted to have enough tunes to play out initially, and didn't worry about recording just yet. Then but as time goes on, the song, I feel like every new song we write, we're like, man, this is the greatest song we've ever written in our lives. and then we go in and like ask Johnny, and he's like, guys, this is the best song you have ever played. Like for every single new song we've had. So
can you trust the opinion of someone you're paying?
Do you know what? That's an excellent question.
Oh, I think all of this is wonderful. Yeah, you go in there. I'll press my buttons.
Yeah. Funny enough, actually, for the recent single release, Red Party Cups, that wasn't the single we planned to release. It was another song, and Jonny Woods again came in and sort of said to us, yeah, like. And funny enough, even like before that song we were planning to release was one of the earlier songs, and Red Party Cups was one of the newer ones we had like been
I
writing.
think we'd finished it maybe like the week before.
Yeah. So like it wasn't very old. Same with If You Find Me. Like whenever we recorded,
same with this new one.
Same with the new one again. Yeah, we were just like got it maybe just done the week prior, and then we went into the record it. Because again, we're finding that like we're really getting our heads around what we want to, or what we like to sound like. Yeah, I think so. We have been told, please record in bulk because it'll help you. But again, it's just a case of like every time we write something that's like, man, absolute cinema. So
Martin Scorsese walks into the studio just like
yeah, exactly, that meme. So that's what's been happening anyway.
It would probably help us out to record in bulk, but I think it's also we're doing this all ourselves. We don't have anyone funding us, and it's a matter of we can't really afford to at the minute. So
if we could record in bulk, and if we could record an album, we would trust us.
Yes,
But like, and we definitely can, I would say as well. But it's just a case of like, yeah,
we
recording's
can't spend
expensive.
like 3 grand on it.
No.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
that's totally fair. Yeah, yeah. I think even like yeah, I mean you're not going to be making that money back on Spotify or anything.
God
no,
no.
that was the next thing I was actually going to mention. Like getting any kind of like finance from music and stuff's horrific.
Yeah, man,
Um,
I don't know how people do it. Like because like you have to put in so much money to the point where, y- to me, I just don't see how the accounts add up.
Mm.
one of my favorite bands, like UK bands, is someone called October Drift.
Hmm.
And they're from, I don't want to say where they're from. I was about to say Suffolk, but I don't want to say if that's where they're
Commit
from.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It begins with an S where they're from. But
Okay.
like I used to see them on Instagram and stuff like that there and thought these guys are gonna conquer the world, and they're eventually gonna play Glastonbury and stuff like that there. And because they looked like they were just touring all the time and they're releasing stuff and they had hardcore fans and like people that were really, really into them. And then last week they just announced that the project's gonna stop because it was too much. Like they said they've been at it like for 10 years, and they say every year it just gets more and more difficult.
Yeah.
Despite what it may look like. So and that was just like, oh no, so and funny enough, they're one of the bands that probably inspired Red Party Cups a little bit as well. So I have meant to send them like a message saying like, here guys, you guys are splitting up, but like this song was, the early versions of this was inspired by you guys, to give them a wee bit of like a boost, I guess. But
And if they
that
left John Cena, would you be like, all right, fuck you, I'm glad you're splitting up?
exactly. But Ahmed, yeah. So just it is a wee bit scary, but we're doing it because we love it, and we're gonna see what just how far we can go. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have day jobs as well, so that's something we can fall back on. I
hmm
know Sean and
Yeah,
I have
if
the
this
nine to
doesn't work
five.
out. Yeah,
but at
no,
the
I
same
don't.
time, I'd love to like say to that I would prefer doing this and like catastrophically failing than not doing
Oh,
it at
100%.
all. So
100%.
yeah, that's my overall opinion on it.
No, the thing is, like, even I've spoken to some artists who are actually like pretty big and who are touring and who are going to like mainland Europe and the UK and around Ireland and stuff, headlining, mid-sized venues, but like, getting like pulling crowds into like, let's say 500-800 seat venues, something like that. And, a lot of them still work day jobs. They can't quit. It's the economics of being a musician that are just fucking shit. And it's like you have to kind of do it if you're doing it, you have to kind of do it because you love it. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing it for financial gain, it's like all right, but you're probably not going to be the next, I don't know, Olivia Rodrigo or something
I
like
know.
that.
Yeah.
I know. Even like there are a lot of artists in Belfast who would be signed,
Yeah,
and you think the idea is once you're signed, you've made it. That's you making bank, but they all still have day jobs. They're all still working and doing this
yeah. Like
weekends and
actually,
evenings
when
when they
I
can.
Bleacher signed to Ferris, for example, and I think like they still work day jobs too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When I was talking to them, yeah, I think James Foy, their drummer, who also does Muck Savage and used to be in Virgins. He was I don't know what he does, but I think he was mentioned that he like still has a day job and stuff like that. It's like yeah, like even that like getting signed isn't. In fact, I was speaking to an artist recently. I won't say their name, just in case they don't want me to disclose this. Although I think they mentioned in the interview, but they were kind of saying like even when you get signed, it's like all the externalities and things like that, like that responsibility is still on you. Like to me, I'm just like listen to it. And I'm like, I just don't really see the point in being signed unless it's like an actual major where you're getting like an
Hmm.
advance or something like that. Other than I guess the communal thing, people like to be on a certain record label. They help with distribution if you're getting vinyl. That's the major thing, really. But like in terms of like promotion and getting yourself seen, that's still always on you.
Yeah,
Like it's I don't know. It's just it's a rough thing. I don't know. Like I think it's people talk about like social media now in general, not even people who are trying to make it, and how it's kind of like crushing people's souls because they get validation from how many likes they get and how many followers they have and stuff like that. And if you're actually trying to make a career out of that, it's weird. But then again, even then, like I see artists who do have like a popular following, and then you go to their gigs and like no one's there. I find it so difficult um to decipher just how popular someone is. It's very
Mhm.
bizarre to me. I don't know if you guys have that feeling too.
Yeah, man. It's like even releasing the single, like the writing and recording of Red Party Cops was the short bit,
Yeah,
and everything else was um like I've never done administrative work in my life before, up until doing band work and stuff like that
everyone
there.
has to
And
do it now. Yeah,
yeah, so I remember I think he was used to do Across the Line and like did stuff for Enemy. He was called Stuart Bailey.
yeah, yeah,
If that name rings a
Mhm.
bell.
yep. Sure, Belly. Yep.
Um, he used to be part of the OEM Music Centre in Belfast. I did a wee bit of volunteering there before, and I remember some New Year's Eve he came down and like I was doing the reception and he kind of like semi we semi talked, you know.
Hmm.
And he came down and I think I was got chatting to him about something that I don't know, it's New Year's, the night's crap, whatever. And he kind of was saying about, yeah, I felt like, even this was in 2018, he was saying this, he felt like bands have to be like too smart nowadays.
Yep.
And it's like, what yeah,
You have to kind of get it ahead of the audience. It's weird.
yeah, you almost have to be too smart or too, yeah, like it's yeah. And I was kind of like didn't know what he meant by that because I thought he was just saying some like blissful whistling whimsical advice, and then he would like disappear into the wind. But
Do you have a big beard and a cane too?
yeah, big beard, yeah, exactly, and that was it. But
Belfast, Tom Bombadil.
yeah,
Tom Bombadil. He came over with a song and just started singing and totally ruined the narrative pacing.
hmm but he said that, and I was like, no, no, it's a lot of those things. Like I remember people used to say when I was in my old band and kind of half paid attention to, are like really like, oh god, yeah, that's oh dear,
Yeah.
you know.
I think the healthiest thing you can do is not have a concern for legacy or future and just try and stay in the moment. I know this is weird, but I'm not to sound like a hippie or anything, but I'm a huge I'm a huge advocate of meditation, and I think like that has saved my life. Doing all this because like you realize like so many people are kind of like just like so stuck in the future and kind of like making it and stuff like that. Where I just think it's so arbitrary that it's best not to even think about it and just do it
Mhm.
if you enjoy it and you get fulfillment out of it. That's my personal advice.
Uh,
To anyone, not
for,
just you guys, but just anyone. It's like
for me at
I
least, the band is about just having a laugh with my mates.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that's why I'm still in it, because if it hadn't clicked, I wouldn't have continued with the band. I would have just gone back to session work or whatever. But because I actually enjoy their company, that's why I
He
continued
tolerates
and
us.
stayed in. I tolerate you, yeah.
Oh, perfect, guys. One thing I wanted to ask for, I wrapped up. I wanted to ask about the music videos you guys are doing. What I really love about them is I was kind of studying them because I like have from third level education. I have a bit of background in video editing and shooting video and stuff like that. I'm not professional in it by any means. I'm not a videographer, but yeah, I enjoy video editing and stuff like that. And what I really liked about your videos is that maybe with the exception of who's going to keep me holding on, the previous the latest two music videos guys done have actually been quite simplistic. I mean, it's essentially just been in the studio just recording you guys playing and then adding some b-roll after the fact of you guys like walking around the city and stuff like that. The first music video you guys did is obviously very scenic and really showing the city off. But what I loved about it was, despite simplicity, it really has a cinematic quality to it. There is that kind of hazy, sort of grainy. As reading one of the press releases, and you mentioned like, an affinity for 35 millimeter film, which I love too. I don't know if that's just like
Oh
nostalgia or if
man,
it is
there's
just
camera
better.
one,
Oh, are you
there's
actually shooting
camera
a film?
two. Yeah, well,
Oh my God, I
not the
thought it was on
videos,
digital.
but like a lot of our
Okay.
social like media, a lot of our photos are like, like 35 millimeter cameras and all that kind of thing. And like, I'm sure I have another one here somewhere. Maybe
I'm literally waiting
there's
on
a
film getting
fourth.
back to me at the minute
Oh,
from
that's great. No,
our
because I
stuff in the
love.
studio.
You know, because like I don't know if it's the same in Belfast, but like here it's like 35 millimeters, like event cinema now. You know,
Mm.
like I think I blame James Cameron, man. Like when Avatar was coming out, there was this big switch. Like every cinema had to upgrade their quality in order to show that film, and now everything's digital, and they do like 35 millimeters, like event cinema. So every now and again you see it, and I don't know if it's just because it's what I grew up with and I just have nostalgia for it, or if it is just better. But there's just something about hearing the whirling of the fucking monitors and stuff like that, and just
Yeah,
going like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. What
But
kind of like filmmakers kind of inspired your visual aesthetic, or photographers? Even?
Um, so yes, of course, the videos are shot by myself, and
edited by you as well.
they're edited by me too. A lot, to be
Fez
honest.
is our dark horse.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, I will say, like, going back to what we were talking about before about being too smart, like a lot of our stuff is shot by myself, and then we edit it all, and we have
No,
to do
no, no.
everything
You
in.
edited it all, Fez.
Yeah,
Not
They just
we.
kind of like
You.
wander in at the editing bay.
yeah, like we do our own logo. There's some photo shoots we've done, like I've shot ourselves, which is really awkward because I had to like
Yeah.
run, like go back and forth with the
It's
timer on
like
the
with the
camera.
family photos when like the
Yeah,
dad would set up the camera and then like
so
run in.
stupid, but
There's 30-second
You're the
timer.
bad dad, Fez.
I know, and like,
Ah,
and yeah, so I've done that, and it's I guess I'm thinking of two questions at once. The
Good.
inspiration for it just comes a lot of time from what less filmmakers and more what we can do.
yeah.
Um, because I would love to shoot Blade Runner. I think that'll be amazing.
The
But
original theatrical cut, you mean, not the
oh yeah,
the
of
one with
course.
the shitty fucking Harrison Ford narration.
Yeah, I would love to, create Apocalypse Now or any of those great films like
Again, the original theatrical version.
but the logistics of a lot of those shots and how they do them is it's just so gargantuanly expensive. That
Yeah,
and in terms of more scenic stuff, um I feel like Ireland especially the I'm going back to Blade Runner. I love cityscapes. I think cityscapes are incredible.
yeah,
I love the look of like LA Vice and sort of like retro wave music. And one of my favorite bands is called The Midnight that has that 80s nostalgia type thing. I
yeah,
love that to bits. But Belfast isn't that.
yeah.
Neither, I would
Belfast
argue,
is very industrial.
yeah, I would argue Dublin isn't really that either.
No, 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 not at all.
And
Dublin's kind of just like grey and
a bit
piss
sad, yeah.
soaked.
Uh,
It's great if you want to make a melancholic piece, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Actually,
But
I was up in Belfast last week, as a matter of fact, and I hadn't been up in a while, and I kind of just realized that like it's basically just like a big square.
yeah, yeah.
Well, to be fair, I was doing a gig up in the Ulster Sports Club. I was helping
Oh,
my
right.
mate run it, and I was only in the city for like a little bit, so I didn't actually get a chance to walk around. But I was in that I don't know the name of the street offhand, but you know the big high street where everything is, and I was in that area. It's near where
Mm-hmm.
the Ulster Hall is, and where the City Hall is. It's that kind of
Oh,
area. So I know that's probably not a good. That's not like probably indicative of the city as a whole. But that area, I just realized that's a massive square.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, it has about 5 corners.
Yeah,
Sorry, 5 quarters.
Yeah, I know. But it's not the prettiest city. And I feel like even a lot of
Hey,
music
you
videos.
don't live in
it's much
Belfast. You
cleaner than
can't say
Dublin.
that. But no, it's not. It's not the prettiest city.
Yeah. But
I can say
even
it.
and I've seen videos that are like done a lot in like the Irish countryside,
Yeah,
which to me is just so
it's not the vibe. Yeah, yeah,
it's not the vibe. Like, I mean, as much as, yeah, it's lovely to do all the countryside and stuff, but like we're not a folk band, you know what I mean? So a lot of it comes from just maybe finding some stupid light or something like that there, like that makes it as red as it can. Like the at the very first sort of two shots in the Red Party Cups video have like a city like kind of at night ish, and then there's a train, but that's the kind of thing I would just like eat up.
yeah.
But the rest of the city has just, again, it's just kind of gray. It doesn't have like nice, that neon light aesthetic and that kind of thing. So, but
Those shots at the start as well, you took while we were waiting to do a live stream.
Yeah, so we did a 24-hour live stream, and those were like even like perfect weather. You know, I mean, it was during the like 3 days whenever it was like kind of semi-humid in
Yeah.
the country, so we
Mhm.
were actually able to go outside, and which is class, but and yeah, so that's how we did that. And I there's something also about like the square 4x3 format,
Yeah.
which I think's really cool. Like I'd love to. We're gonna do the next video we've actually got planned, and it's probably gonna be in the similar kind of nostalgic kind of vibe. Someone actually
Yeah, I agree.
described this
Widescreen
before.
is kind of the
Yeah,
permission of widescreen. It's just so much can kind of like leak into the screen. Where if you're confined by 4x3, everything in the shot has to kind of be very direct and deliberate. I don't know.
I played a game recently actually, called Expedition 33,
I haven't
um,
heard of it.
and it's relatively new, and
I
it's
couldn't
made
get
by,
into it.
yeah, he Blaine doesn't like it. I love it, and it goes from like the cutscenes in it go from like the widescreen cinematic thing to when they're in sort of like a dream sequence.
Hmm.
It goes black and white and goes to three by or like the 4x3 format,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and the way you look at the frame really changes in that time, and it does feel like there is like a sudden like whoa like
That's
um change of
Atmosphere.
like how you view things and stuff
that's
like
like
that.
in that movie Longlegs. Great movie up until maybe like that last half hour.
Nice.
Whenever it goes into like a past sequence, it goes down to the 4x3, or the square format.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool kind of narrative technique that I thought was really really interesting. So yeah, we might have to try and experiment with something like that.
Mm. I also like Wes Anderson,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, Wes Anderson actually works very much with limited frames. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been a fan of his last three films. Sorry.
it's all good.
You can slag me off or if you want. You can call me a Luddite. I don't mind.
Uh,
I haven't
um,
watched his last three films, so I'll take a pass on that one.
so
Yeah,
I
what were they?
wasn't
The French
too.
Dispatch.
Yeah, French Dispatch
Uh,
was a wee bit messy.
what's the last one?
The Three Nations game,
The Phoenician Scheme. But what was the one in between it with Edward Norton where he was the writer and they were in the hotel, Asteroid City.
Asteroid City.
I saw that twice, and I wanted to give it a first shake, and I don't know, I didn't gel with it. I did like a little alien guy, little stop motion alien. He was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I thought it was
No,
one of the
I
best
swear, like
villains.
I feel like I'm missing something. I've really tried to like. I might even give it another shot again, but like I just feel like I haven't clicked with it. I don't know. Because like I remember like the old Wes Anderson movies, like your Rush Wars, your Royal Tenenbaums stuff, like instantaneously you're like this is fucking great. But
Mhm.
I found like some of the other stuff is kind of like slower build on it. Like even Phoenician Scheme, I kind of like half loved and half didn't. But I was kind of like it is a film that I definitely want to see again. I think the last
Mhm.
one I really loved was Oil Dogs. I thought Oil Dogs was amazing.
Yeah, I love Dogs Class.
Oil
Yeah.
Dogs is fucking brilliant. Yeah, and obviously I love like
I
Grand Budapest and stuff.
Grand Budapest is fantastic, and I love
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr.
That's actually a
Fox.
good film that messes with the framing. That's a good example of what you're
Yeah, yeah.
talking about.
That poster there was almost the Grand Budapest Hotel. There it was between that's Howl's Moving Castle
Oh,
or
nice.
or
I wouldn't recognize it, yeah.
it's because it's the Japanese name there
Yeah.
and it's very
No, it's just it's
dark.
a little darker. I can't really
Yeah,
see.
Have you
yeah.
seen
It's
those
just dark.
posters? They're like Ghanaian movie posters that they
Oh,
did for their uh like illegal cinemas. They're a gag. I might have to get a
yeah.
couple of them from my room. I thought
Do you ever
really
see? I remember
really
the old
bad Lord of
Polish
the Rings
posters
ones.
they used to do. I remember that had a similar vibe.
They're so good, but they're so
Yeah.
bad.
It's just like literally just some dude hand drawing them. I was like,
Yeah,
fair
it's
Nice.
so
play to
good.
him or her. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm,
I don't want to assume.
yeah. So
Else,
I guess to
also,
answer
I'm
your
a huge fan
question.
of Japanese movie posters too, which is always
Oh yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's always fascinating. Like,
I'm the weeb of the band, so like I'm a proper like Japanese like film and stuff and like animation enjoyer. So
yeah,
um
I
I
still
actually will
haven't watched
say
Demon Slayer Fez. I still
that's
need
okay.
to.
But
sub or
I did
dub.
definitely I'm a sub person.
Yeah, I
But
think I've always said there's three that are acceptable for, and I'm not a huge anime guy, but like I think if I'm gonna watch anime, I'm gonna like watch. So, but the three I think are Studio Ghibli movies. You can watch them because they're good. Cowboy Bebop,
I was about to
and
say, yeah.
yeah, Evangelion. I think those are three you can watch the English dub, and it's like, yeah, they're as good. But most of the time, it's just like really bad. It's just like some dude they got who's just like only does anime, but he's not even that good a voice actor.
Attack on Titans is quite good, actually.
I haven't watched it.
See, it's I would call it probably like the Game of Thrones of anime.
Okay, I thought
It's
that'd be Bleach, but okay.
no, the Attack on Titans, and like in terms of more the way the story twists and turns, and like, well, the way, like, kind of, I guess Game of Thrones is all about the force of nature that everyone's ignoring, and Attack on Titans also, I guess, about a force of nature, and then the story kind of unravels of what it actually is. Um, but yeah, so it's but unlike Game of Thrones, Attack on Titan ends really well.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I didn't actually finish Game of Thrones, so
uh,
Don't. Just
for me,
don't.
it's probably good.
yeah, I was next on Game of Thrones actually.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Was it just like a casting call? You just answered?
Season 6, episode 8. Yeah. It was.
Were you the
Yeah.
one
It
who
was,
brought the Starbucks cup into
no, that wasn't
thing?
me. That wasn't me. So that was it. Was like, I was in uni at the time, and there was my sister was the one that actually, she was like, okay, you should, like, I'm going to apply to be an extra, and I was like, okay. And I thought, right, I kind of, like, I wasn't bald at the time, and my hair was a wee bit more thinning, I guess. So I probably looked a wee bit more like muggy and strange. So I thought, right, okay, Game of Thrones might be actually worth a look here. So I put my, like, face up and all that kind of thing, and within a week, someone, like, was like, "Yeah, do you want to, like, be a ugly extra?" And I was like, "I'll do my best." And
It's like, why'd you have to add that adjective? I'll be an extra.
yeah, I'll be an extra. And yeah, no, it was great, but it was a night scene with Nikolai, Jamie Lannister. I can't
No
remember,
shit.
but
Yeah, yeah.
and
Baldur Coster.
whatever
Is
his
Yeah,
that
name
his
name of
is.
the
name?
font. Yeah.
I
Something like that.
I love telling, like, there's one kind of like party time story I always tell about Game of Thrones when I was on it. Do you know the actor who plays Bronn of Blackwater?
Yeah,
Uh,
he was in Robson Jerome, wasn't
Robson and Jerome.
Yeah.
He had a hit called Saturday Night at the Movies, right? Which I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys may know. So we were lining up, like, as a four to be soldiers, and like, to do this march down someplace in Banbridge, and he then, to my left, um he comes out of a tent, and he was maybe within 6 feet of me, right? And I don't know why he just materialized at this tent, and I was, first of all, a bit like stun locked, and then he kind of, like, looks around, looks to his left, looks to his right, looks at me, and we have, like, long enough eye contact where one of us should have said something. So I murmured out the first thing that came to my head, which was Saturday night at the movies. And and
It's
he
like, I've
went
never heard that before.
and he went, "Ha!" and walked away.
Oh, you offended him, Fez.
So
And
yeah,
that was the end of your acting career.
and that was the end of my acting career. They never called
He
me
had you
back.
blacklisted.
Yeah.
I have to ask Fez, would you have done a Game of Thrones like background thing if it required nudity?
Sorry?
If it required nudity, if they were like, okay, we need you to get naked in this scene, because there was always like naked people in that fucking show.
Would I do nudity?
Was that in your
I
contract?
probably, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I really want to be on TV.
I don't know.
Just call the family, be like, don't watch this week.
Yeah, maybe if I was like a soldier wearing a helmet, being like, "Yeah, and you can't see me," or something like that. There, maybe, yeah, because you wouldn't know it's me. And they're like, "Whoa, look at that guy in his bodacious bod," or something like that. There, and then it's like, and then I'll, like, rest in peace, knowing that that was me, and no one else will know.
You get upgraded from ugly extra to sexy extra.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Perfect, guys. You've been very gracious with your time. I don't want to take up too much more. I just want to ask. Obviously you mentioned that there's probably going to be a single by the end of August. As we're recording this, it's the last day of July. So, assuming it comes out August, September-ish. Beyond that, what do you kind of have planned for the rest of this year and into the next?
Well, we have a gig in Hustle with Hangman, Riders, and Patterns.
Yeah.
In no August 14th, and then we have a gig with
I'll try. Sorry, I'll just try and get this out before then. So August 14th, you're playing.
or August 14th, and then we have another two gigs that we fez. We've one with Madre.
Which isn't announced yet, but like I'm sure they wouldn't mind us saying on the podcast that that's going to be a gig happening on the 26th of September in the Union Bar. But like,
it'll probably be announced by the time this comes out.
yeah,
Yeah. And then we have another one run by Shine.
Yeah. Oh shit, nice.
The Drive, is it?
The Driver, the name of the band, they're from Cork.
I'm not familiar.
But
yeah.
so we're supporting them in the Deer's Head again in Belfast. So
Cool. Do Shine do? Because I'm not too familiar with Shine, but like, I know obviously they're the big music promoter up north. So, do they do the smaller shows? Because I know that's happening here too. Like down south, is that the kind of bigger promoters are like booking smaller shows that would normally be for like the smaller promoters. I'm always like, what's that? What's that about? You guys should be promoting like the arena and the theaters and stuff.
I think they kind of have a hand in everything, which
Yeah.
is good for us,
Yeah.
because I don't know whether we would do very well at the
Yeah.
moment.
No, absolutely.
With huge mad gigs, we never know, we could, but yeah, that's good for them to at least know who we are and know that we're up for doing gigs with them.
Perfect.
and we're
Actually-
not, and we've done an interview with Post-Burnout. Hey,
You.
Oh, that's gonna be your career low point. So everything now will just be going upwards. Perfect. One final thing, Blaine. I noticed you're wearing a Final Fantasy t-shirt. I have to ask, do you like FF8 or not? I know it's a divisive one.
I'm a 7 guy.
So am I. I've played 8, but I just can't get into the GF system.
No, I'm a 7 guy.
It's a pain.
I'd
Yeah.
kick it old school. Even
Everyone
the
says to
remake
play
wasn't
9.
necessarily
You've
for
never
me.
played 9 yet.
I haven't played 9.
I heard that one's good.
9.
I like Kingdom Hearts. I'm one of those.
Dude, I was a huge Kingdom Hearts guy as a kid. I actually played that before I got into like Final Fantasy, and like to me the cameos didn't mean anything. But I had a friend who was a big FF nerd back then, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's Squall," you know. He liked FFA. He really liked FFA, and he was like, I remember going around to his gaff and he was playing it and stuff, and yeah. Oh, actually, I have one final thing. Sorry, just speaking of gaffs, the title of your new song, Red Party Cup. When I was thinking of that, like that to me kind of evokes the sort of things you see like in American movies and TV shows. Do people up north actually use red party cups, or is that just a Yankee thing?
It's just a Yankee thing, I think.
Yeah, everyone just drinks cans here, right?
Just cans or plastic cups,
bottles. Yeah,
bottles.
yeah.
My sister-in-law is American, so I'll have to ask her if it's an actual thing in America too.
Yeah, because I think like in America they always bring like kegs, and you never see that
Aye.
here. Everyone just brings like a 6-pack or a 24-pack. No one brings fucking keg to a gaff
Sure, it'll
party.
be flat by the end of the
Yeah,
night.
you're like, get the fuck out. Imagine that. Imagine like bringing the keg to a gaff party and they're like, yeah, you're not coming in with that. Just have to walk, get the bus home, get a fucking keg beside you on the bus or something.
It's a
I
Sean
have
question.
bought,
Like,
they sell wee kegs in Tesco, and I have bought one of them to bring to a party.
Do they actually sell the kegs in Tesco?
Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
sell. There's only like
I've never seen them.
wee ones like of like beer and
Oh
ready
yeah,
and stuff,
okay.
not non-spawn. But I bought one of them to go to a house party once. It was pretty disappointing.
Was it? Yeah,
By the end of the night, it
that
was
one.
just flat.
So did they have like did the keg you buy? Did you have to get a hose for it, or did they have
No,
the
they
actual
have like a wee
thing on it?
spout.
Yeah, they had it on there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I always see that like the what's it called? Like I'm thinking like movies like Old School and shit like that where they're doing the fucking
Yeah, they're doing the keggers.
yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a
That
Sean
looks cool.
question because he was the one who came up with the lyric, I guess. Red Party Cups. He was the one who called it that.
So does
And,
Sean generally write the lyrics then? Yeah.
Sean writes all of the lyrics, I think, and then as far as I'm aware, I kind of just let him.
You let him run away, run ahead.
He's just
Yeah.
using ChatGPT. You're like, what
Yeah, it's
the
just-
fuck?
because he does like there is an element of like nostalgia with it too.
Yeah, totally.
Where he even as you guys are talking about like American movies, he does have a lyric in that song where he says like faces blurred like a movie scene. So there is definitely a sense of like comfort and nostalgia seeing those kind of things and being like, nostalgia, whatever, So yeah, I suppose that's where it kind of comes from, is like that sense of yearning for a time long past. So yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time, guys. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up and I didn't cover that you think people should know? And if you want to plug socials and all that too.
Yeah, well, we're Midnight Housework on pretty much everything. MH Housework or something on Twitter.
Twitter. Mm-hmm.
You're
But
still
yeah,
using
Midnight
Twitter?
Housework.
Well,
We try to avoid it.
Listen.
So do I, man. Like it's a big thing when you're in like publishing. Everyone like, at one point had to do Twitter, and then everyone migrated, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm kind of sick with this.
I did a lot of work in games like around the pandemic, like esportsy kind of like edit stuff, and like everybody was like using Twitter and stuff like that. There, everybody. And we even coming from like going to music, it just doesn't. I don't think it translates the same.
No, I think the only because like YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook kind of hit and miss. Very few artists because like I tag all the artists when I put shit up. Very few artists have what do you call it, like Twitter anymore. The only one that every artist have is Instagram. Like every artist I talk to has an Instagram account. Doesn't matter whether they're like wherever they are in the world, they have a fucking Instagram account. But everything else is just like hit or miss. Like even TikTok, like some artists have it, some don't. And I think all of them have a YouTube presence, but not all of them have like a YouTube account necessarily. So when you're uploading to like a DistroKid or whatever distributor you use, you just say like, "Oh, put this on YouTube as well," but it's not actually their account. It's just sort of like the automate thing, you know what I'm talking about? Where the YouTube music thing, whatever it's called, it just goes there. So it's a topic. Topic is what they call it.
Well, I think we have everything.
You have everything. You have a grinder.
Oh well,
that's
not quite
for us to
everything.
know. That's just between Luke and I.
That'd be sick. Like just do that Gonzo, just do that Gonzo advertising, just in like all mad places. Just be like, set up like a Tinder account and just be like, swipe right to hear our music and shit like that. I think you'd get banned like in a day, but like it'd be worth it. You might get like a few extra followers or something.
Swipe right for the Blaine train or something like that.
Oh god.
Just put your like gig lists and where people can find you and all on the Tinder account. I don't know. It's probably bad advice. You probably would actually get, because I think with Tinder they're pretty strict about. I had a friend who once got kicked off for having a fake profile. She did it. She made Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. She made him as a joke, and she got kicked off and just could not come because they fucking block your phone number.
I've heard about this. Yeah, like IP block or something.
Yeah, I think with Tinder you have to sign up with your phone or social media or something like that. So whatever it is, once they have your phone, once your phone is blocked, you're fucked. You just can never go back on it, and they pretty much don't. You can submit a complaint, be like, hey, but they're pretty like set in stone once they say no. So that's some advice for everyone: don't fuck around on Tinder.
No.
Bumble, on the other hand.
I know.
Thanks, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. It's nice to
Yes, you too.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
And maybe I'll see you from Europe, your way soon.
Yeah, well, if your mate who runs gigs in Ulster Sports wants to give us a shout.
Oh yeah, I can give you his contacts if you want.
Sean's dream is to like every time we've wanted to do any kind of like submitting for anything, they've said, "What are your goals?" And Sean has always been like Ulster Sports Club.
Yeah, it's a great venue. It reminds me of it reminded me very much of the Workman's down here. It's a very similar vibe. Similar venue. The decor has that scene. Everyone there was very lovely. I have to say, don't have a bad word to say about me. Attendees too. I work some of the gigs here in Dublin, and I'd be like reading a book or something like that, and people kind of maybe go like, "What's the book?" But like here, people are having full blown conversations with me about it. I'm like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
I was reading a book that's not very savory. Let's say it was about some dark topics, and I had to kind of explain to people, look, I'm not a weirdo. I'm just reading this for literary interests. Okay, it was John McCarran's The Dark. If anyone knows what that's about, very bleak book, very very bleak.
Whereas I was sitting last night reading Jurassic Park.
Oh, nice. I've never actually read the Crichton book.
The Jurassic Park books are great. Very good. Thoroughly enjoyed them.
But the original Jurassic Park film series, were they all books first, or was it just the first one?
There's only two. There's only Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, I think. Not Jurassic World, Lost World.
The Lost World, I think.
Yeah.
Jurassic World 3, they just went, fuck God. We're gonna have a dinosaur say Alan. That's all I remember from that film, was that fucking dinosaur goes, Alan. Every time I'm on the plane with my friend, we just look at you and go, Alien. So that's all I remember from that fucking film. I've never seen the new ones, actually. I've never watched the Chris Pratt ones or
There's
the
not
new
much
one.
point watching them.
Yeah, the one with Scarlett Johansson that came out. I didn't watch any of them. So,
No, don't think there's much point.
okay. I actually am very interested in your film criticism, by the way. So keep me, because you've expressed some opinions in here, and I actually am very interested in them. What's
We
your
we
letterbox top four? Before I go, last thing, I
Oh,
promise.
I have a letterbox. Yeah, can't remember what it is though. It's all loaded on my phone. That's
one
why.
thing we are talking about right now is like he prefers Superman and I prefer the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I've
So
seen them
that's our
both,
big topic.
and I was kind of mixing both of them, to be honest. I think Fantastic Four starts really strong. I love the intro bit where it's like,
Mhm.
just kind of like the news footage and stuff, and then I love the part where they're in like, I don't know if this is spoiler, they're in space and something happens. I thought all that was great, but I think once they return to Earth,
Mhm.
I kind of felt like it went a bit like, I don't know. But Superman, I felt was weird from the beginning. It just like starts and you're kind of like trying to get oriented, but then it gets really good. So it's kind of the inverse in a way. I think
Yeah.
Fantastic Four starts stronger and then kind of like peters out, where I feel like Superman starts not as strongly, but gets better as it goes along. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
I thoroughly enjoyed. I watched it a couple of times there. I thoroughly enjoyed Superman.
Yeah.
We went to see Fantastic Four last night. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't. It wasn't a movie where I was like, oh, well, I would watch that again.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I feel like I've seen it before. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever watched the original ones from like 20 years ago, but
Oh yeah.
like you know the Rise of Silver Surfer, the second one.
Yeah,
I
because
was
it was
getting
kind of the
so many
similar.
flashbacks to that when
Yeah.
like Johnny was chasing the Silver Surfer around. I was
Yeah.
like, that's just remind me of that fucking
At
movie from 20 years
least
ago.
Galactus in this one was better.
Oh, the acting's way better. Yeah, no, everyone did a
Ralph
good
was it
job.
Ralph Ineson? I love how they just didn't change his
Yes.
voice at all.
Yeah, the
He just
dude
his
from
voice is just
The
like that.
Office. What was his character in The Office? I forget. Is Sharky or something like that? I can't
Oh, I
remember,
can't
but like he just has the exact same cadence. But yeah,
remember.
I think they did alter his voice slightly to make it a bit more gigantic. But yeah, and also I felt like they should have just given him the fucking baby.
Yeah, maybe.
You could tell I'm not a father because I'd be like, yeah, fucking give him the baby. Like she does that speech where she goes out and she's like, "This, let me introduce you to my child." I used to be like, "No, fuck it, man! Like 8 billion people, fuck that." Perfect, guys. Thanks very much for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.
All
Yes, you
right.
do.
See you
Thank you
soon,
very much.
man. Thank you
Cheerio.
so much for having us
Bye.
on.
Bye.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for listening to that episode of Post-Burnout.com interviews. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, so we hope that you enjoyed and would consider subscribing, giving it a like on YouTube, or a rating anywhere else. We also have some exclusive episodes only available on Spotify, which features interviews with the likes of Kim Deal, Ron Mail of Sparks, Jacob Slater of Wonder Horse, Maria Kelly, Gavin Friday, and many more. So check those out if you're so inclined. Otherwise, thank you for listening and see you next time.